If you're looking to move to Saigon, Vietnam, today we're going to show you our $500 apartment here in Thao Dien to see just what we get. We're going to give you some pros and cons of our apartment and living in this area, and give you some advice for when you are looking for your apartment. So let's take a look what we get for our money. So down in our basement we have parking, and we also have 24-hour security that stays over there, which is quite good for safety. And we have some storage over here to keep our shoes, and we have our own little locker. We got the option of the lift or the stairs. We only live on floor 2 for UK, so that's floor 3 for Americans. So we usually take the stairs, but let's take the lift this time to show you. So in our hallway here, we have a washer. That's for ourselves, just for our apartment. And we have a shared dryer that we share with the apartment next door. So let's knock on and let's take a tour of the apartment.
Hello, come in. Welcome to our apartment, and as you can tell from the title, we pay $500 a month for this 2-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom. So let's have a look. Over here is our living room area, and we've got a really big TV. It's a smart TV, which is really good. We can watch Netflix, YouTube, all that kind of good stuff there. There's the Wi-Fi router, a nice little coffee table, a big sofa where we can watch the smart TV. Over here you can see it's our desk area, our little office area. So this is a little classroom that we've made, and we bought this desk ourselves. This was one of the only few things that we didn't have already, and this is just 1 space out of 2 where we teach from. So you can see we've put up a poster, and we've got all our little props and everything already. So if you want to see what this teaching setup is like up close and personal, give it a thumbs up, comment it down below, and we can do that for you.
Here is the main bedroom. This is where we sleep. So it's quite a nice room. It's not too small. We've got a double bed here and a lot of storage in these cupboards. You can see in here, these are Emma's clothes. Unfortunately, I got banished to the other room, so this is all for Emma with her thousands of t-shirts. So I'll show you mine later. It's quite a nice space. We've got lots of plugs on the side, so that works for us. And the natural light is quite good out of the main windows. This is a bit of a different story. I'll show you the reveal, what's behind here. Let's see. Not such a good view. Here, I took a load of milk boxes and put them up because these curtains, they're not that thick, so it gets kind of bright in the room. And it's also quite noisy. We're only on the 2nd floor, so it's quite noisy, and that helps it be a little bit quieter. But that's a nice window. We got the bars for security, which is always a bit of a risk in Vietnam, so that's a good thing. Open plan living room and kitchen. Here's also kind of our dining table area. We tend not to eat here, just use it for storage and for sitting, but with more friends around, then we can eat here. 2 more chairs we have in our study spaces, so we can have 4 chairs here, so that's good too. Then onto the kitchen. This is actually not too bad for the price that we pay. Lots of utilities. We've got a nice big fridge freezer, which we've stocked up to help us survive our lockdown. So there's a lot of space. I think this is good.
Fridge tour. Just give it that thumbs up, comment down below.
I think this is a good amount of storage space for 2 people. We also have our water tanks here. We pay 60k to get one of these big tanks here. Probably the price is a little bit higher than you would pay in some places. You could get it probably as low as 30k, but we ring him up and he delivers it straight to the door, so we pay for the convenience. And here's our kitchen. It's an alright space. We only have the 1 hob here, but for the most part we can do all of the cooking, so that's good.
Through here we've got the bathroom. So we've only got 1 bathroom in our apartment, which is fine because we're a couple and, you know, we share everything, so it's okay. So 1 toilet, 1 shower, no bath sadly, and sink and mirror. Hey.
Let's show you the last space, which is actually the 2nd bedroom in the apartment. It's quite good to find a 2-bed apartment for this price, especially in Thao Dien, but we don't use it as a bedroom, we use it as our second study space, so let's see. So it's exactly the same setup as the other bedroom. Here are all my clothes in this wardrobe, so I have to go to the other bedroom just to get some pants in the morning. But a nice bed. The mattress is not too Vietnamese style, so actually it's quite soft. And the other place where we spend a lot of time is the second study space, which is good. We have the same setup with the backdrop. The Wi-Fi in the apartment's good, so we spend a lot of time working here when we're teaching online. Those are all of the main rooms in the apartment. Overall, we really like it. It's pretty spacious. The price is really good, just $500. And most importantly, it's a good place that we can work. 2 separate places, close the door. They've got 2 separate ACs, the Wi-Fi is good. So this works for us.
This is what we get for $500 in Saigon, in Thao Dien, District 2.
So let's talk about some of the pros and cons of this apartment and of living in Thao Dien in general. The first point is that it's super essential for us to have 2 working spaces. We have 2 bedrooms here, we both work online, so we need the separate spaces, and we converted 1 bedroom to the office, and we bought the desk to put in the living room. We have really fast Wi-Fi here, really good speeds. So those are 2 essential things for living digital nomad lifestyle or for working from home during the lockdown.
Another good thing is the location where we're living. So we're living in District 2 and the ward is called Thao Dien. Thao Dien is known for being an expat area. Lots of foreigners live here because it's just very accessible. Everything is convenient. It's quite small and it's quieter than a lot of other districts we've found. Really good for foreigners because there are international schools where you could either send your children or work at if you're a teacher. And there are loads of cafes, restaurants from all different nationalities. You can find any cuisine here. And there are loads of like co-working spaces, so if you want to work somewhere that's not at home, you can check those out too. And as Lewis touched on earlier, the security guard is really helpful. I mean, he does a lot of things for us, like, you know, helping with the ACs if there's a problem, or we need help with like the washing machine or the dryer. So that's great. And also it's just comforting to know someone's there like watching the bikes and keeping an eye on everything. So it's really good to have 24-hour security. Another thing is we also get a cleaning service 3 times a week, which is really good for us. And yeah, it's really convenient and it's built into the price, so that's perfect, really.
And overall, I think for the value of this apartment, $500, I think it's expensive for the country, but I think it's cheap for what we get. You know, $500 compared to if you're living in London or any other major city, I think it's a really good value for money. To be totally transparent, we'll talk also about the cons of the apartment and the area. The first one, which is the big one for me, is that there is no balcony, there's no rooftop, there's no garden, so that means no outdoor space. So if that's important to you year round, then you should really look for a place that's got that.
Another thing is that the area, even though it's fairly quiet for Saigon, it's still noisy for us because people in Vietnam wake up really early, which we don't have anything against, but it means starting the day at 6 AM or even 5 AM. So the street noise can be quite disturbing when you want to have a restful lie-in.
We teach online, and that means that everything that we say needs to be really clear, and all the noise that comes from our surroundings can affect our work security.
We moved into this apartment like 18 months ago, and then only maybe 6 months ago they've started renovating a space across the road from us of this bar. It's really annoying, it's really loud, and also there's a really big TV outside which just glares light into our apartment, hence the boarded up windows. In Vietnam, these things just happen, so yeah, you just never know. It's very unpredictable.
And actually the bar's TV, it faces away from the bar and into our apartment across the road, so...
Doesn't make sense.
So go figure.
Yeah.
A few other negatives of this apartment is possibly the kitchen. We are lucky that we have a kitchen, not every apartment does, but it's kind of tight in there. So if you've got more people, or you're a family, or you're a big cooking person, then you should really look for some more space too.
We had to make the office spaces within a bedroom and the living room. So obviously it makes the living room a little bit less comfortable because that desk obviously takes up a large corner of the room.
So that goes with the final point, which is about occupancy here. We're a couple, so we actually only sleep in one of the bedrooms. I think even 2 people separately, that will be a bit of a fight over space in the living room, in the bathroom, in the kitchen. So I think it's best suited to a couple or a family here.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was the apartment tour and the pros and cons. Now we'll give you a little bit of advice for if you are looking for an apartment here in Saigon or in Vietnam in general. The first thing is that everything happens on Facebook. From finding jobs to ordering deliveries and especially finding apartments, you can find everything on Facebook. There are a few groups that you can join, for example, Saigon expats or Saigon housing. Just search on Facebook, Saigon and your local area, and you'll find loads of agents trying to post stuff. Ask questions before and try to do multiple viewings.
If you also are a digital nomad or you work online or from home, it's really important to have a proper setup. So you want to make sure you have the basics like good Wi-Fi, an office space, and also maybe a comfy chair.
One more point is work with your landlord. So when you go to see a place, before you put down any money, then try to meet the landlord in person if you can and negotiate with them. Everything in Vietnam is a negotiation, so definitely negotiate about the price. Especially in Vietnam when things are not clear, not everything happens on paper. And even if it's on paper, it doesn't mean it will happen. So you really want a landlord that will be on your side.
We've been really lucky that we found a really great landlord who also speaks English and just has lots of connections, like our water guy, and has a good security guard. So those are great things.
Emma's such good friends with the water guy that she always says, "Hey Yang," whenever we drive past and he has no idea who we are.
He always ignores us. As we've already said, we live in District 2, Thao Dien, which is very popular, but there are some other popular areas that lots of foreigners like to live in.
I think Thao Dien is probably one of the most popular places. It's very small, so pros and cons with that. A bit more of a community, but also quite tight, not a huge amount on offer. You could stay in District 1 if you want to be more right in the middle of things, an area like Bintan or Dakao near Pham Lao and all those touristy areas. Or there's quite a big expat community in District 7, specifically Phu My Hung, and you'll find some good accommodation there with all good restaurants and a bit more of a community. And really don't want to be in the middle of nowhere with no English speaking restaurants, no foreign food, or maybe that's just for us. See what works for you.
And if you like outdoor space and maybe if you have pets you need to take on walks, Phu My Hung is really good for that. And also there are other places within District 2. They've got loads of like greenery there, walking spaces, and a nice little community there too.
And the area is beautiful. We're surrounded by the Saigon River. It's relatively quiet and open compared to the dense District 1. So it depends what suits your lifestyle. Being close to your work is definitely a big advantage.
Yeah.
You do not want to be driving like we did from District 2 to District 9. You know, just 20 kilometers is going to take you so long to get around the city. That's our apartment tour, pros and cons, and advice for if you want to find an apartment here in Saigon. If you want to see more about our teaching setup, then let us know down below. Or if you've got any more questions about the apartment, then we're happy to answer those.
You can also comment down below some video suggestions if you want to see any more of the apartment, any more day in the lives or daily vlogs, let us know down below.
Wake up with me. A day in my life of teaching English online will be coming soon. And if you want to find out more about what you can and can't do in Saigon, it's going to be up there. And down below will be all of our beautiful Vietnam travel if you want some inspiration. So thanks for watching and see you next time.